All right, let's dive in. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to break down the absolute essentials of Dale Carnegie's masterpiece, How to Win Friends and Influence People. We're talking nearly 100 years of wisdom, boiled down for right now. It's a super frustrating feeling, isn't it? You're trying to make a point, trying to connect, and it feels like you're just talking to a wall. You feel unheard, maybe a little invisible. It happens to all of us. Way back in 1936, long before we had all this digital noise, Dale Carnegie basically wrote the instruction manual for genuine human connection. And you know what? The ideas in it are more important today than they've ever been. So what's the big secret? What's the core idea? It's actually not about learning a bunch of clever tricks. It's about one fundamental shift in how you see the world, taking the spotlight off yourself and shining it on the other person. Okay, let's be really clear about this. This isn't about manipulation or using fake flattery to get your way. The whole thing falls apart if it's not sincere. It's about looking for the good in people, truly trying to understand where they're coming from and making them feel valued. That's the whole game. So let's start with the absolute bedrock of Carnegie's teachings. Honestly, this one principle can change everything. How you handle mistakes, disagreements, you name it. Get this. There was a famous test pilot named Bob Hoover whose plane was wrecked because a mechanic put in the wrong fuel. After making this unbelievable emergency landing, Hoover didn't yell, he didn't criticize the guy who was probably just devastated. Instead, he put his arm around him and said, "I want you to service my plane again tomorrow." He knew that trust rebuilds people while criticism just tears them down. And that story just perfectly captures this quote, doesn't it? See, criticism doesn't work because it doesn't appeal to logic. It just puts our ego on the defensive. And when people feel attacked, they don't change, they just dig their heels in even harder. So you can really see the two paths here. Criticism just builds walls. It leads to defensiveness, resentment, and closed minds. But understanding, like what Bob Hoover showed, that builds trust. It motivates people, and it actually opens them up to your way of thinking. Okay, so if step one is just to stop criticizing, what's next? Now we can start building those real connections. How do you become the kind of person that people just want to be around? Think about it. When you see a group photo you're in, who's the first person you look for? Yourself, right? We all do it. We are all the center of our own universe. So the trick to making friends is to flip that instinct completely. Focus on them. Carnegie said you can make more friends in 2 months by being interested in other people than you can in 2 years of trying to get them interested in you. A person's name, it's not just a label, it's their identity. When you remember and use someone's name, you're sending this quiet but powerful message that says, "Hey, you matter. You're important enough for me to remember." It's so simple, but it has a huge impact. Carnegie told this great story about going to a dinner party where he just listened to a botanist talk about plants all night. Carnegie barely said a word, but later the botanist told the host that Carnegie was one of the most fascinating conversationalists he'd ever met. Why? Because he was a good listener. You combine that with using their name and talking about their favorite things, and you're golden. Okay, now for the tricky part. What about disagreements? How do you get someone to see your point of view? Well, Carnegie's method isn't about winning a fight. It's about winning over a person. We all want to win, right? We want to prove our point. But what Carnegie figured out about what actually works, well, it's pretty counterintuitive. That's right. The best way to win an argument is to not have one in the first place. Because think about it. Even if you win, you've kind of lost. You might have all the facts on your side, but you've probably bruised the other person's ego and made them resent you. You can win the debate, or you can win the person. It's really hard to get both. So instead of going head-to-head, try this little 3-step process. First, just listen. Let them get everything out without interrupting. Second, find some point of common ground, no matter how small. And third, if you're even a little bit wrong, admit it right away. It's totally disarming, and it shows you care more about the solution than your own ego. It reminds me of that old fable. The sun and the wind have a bet on who can get a man to take his coat off. The wind blows like crazy, but the man just clutches his coat tighter. Then, the sun just shines warmly, and the man smiles and takes his coat off all by himself. It's the perfect analogy. Warmth and gentleness will always be more persuasive than force. So we've covered a lot of ground, from how to handle disagreements to how to make friends. But all of these different ideas, really every single principle in the book, they can all be boiled down to one single powerful idea. Seriously, if you forget everything else from this quick guide, just remember this one thing. This is the engine behind all good human relationships. And it's surprisingly simple.
That's it. That's the whole secret. From not criticizing to using someone's name to listening like your life depends on it, every single tip is just a different way of showing another person that they matter. But, and this is the most important part, you have to be sincere. People have a built-in radar for fakeness, but genuine appreciation, that's what connects us.
So I'll leave you with this question. Think about your next conversation today with a coworker, a friend, the person at the checkout counter. What's just one small thing you can do to make them feel truly seen and heard? Because it's those little moments that really build the best connections. Now go try it.